The Autodromo Jose Carlos Pace, more famously known as Interlagos, is a motorsport circuit in the city of Sao Paulo. Now, this track opened in 1940, and the track name literally means between lakes, due to its construction between two large artificial lakes, built in the early 20th century to supply the local Sao Paulo with water and electricity. Now, the track has evolved over time from being a track that was almost 8 kilometers long to only 4.3 kilometers long, so it could fit the new FIA restrictions on track length. This track over the years as well, it's moved from being a very early race in the Formula 1 calendar to the last race of the season. And who can forget Felipe Massa in 2008 on his home Grand Prix, the last race of the season, at the point that he passed the start finish line, he was the world champion, until Lewis Hamilton on the final corner of the final lap was able to pass one car, making him the champion and possibly the greatest finish to an F1 season ever. Now, taking a look at the track, working yourself down that front straightaway, down into turn number 1. This is the Senna S, as late as you possibly can on the brakes, but don't lock those tyres up. Then you work it through turn number 2, down into Curva de Sol. This is flat out here, all the way through turn number 3. You need to have had a good run for the first 2 corners to get maximum straight line speed down onto this, the back straightaway. You'll now come flat out down into a 90-degree left-hander for what is essentially turn number 4 and 5, the lake descent corner. It's a double apex left-hander. Use a little bit of the curb on the inside, then brush that car all the way wide and exit. Again, holding it tight for the second part of the corner, turn 5, before you now come into this tricky, difficult infield section that starts with this turn number 6, Ferradura, the horseshoe corner. It is a long right-hander that immediately leads into turn 7 before a huge braking zone down into turn number 8. Straighten the car up as early as you can here to then make that arc to left-hander for Small Pine Tree corner, turn number 9. Don't use any curb here. Get yourself straightened up. A nice straight run down into turn number 10. Rico de Pato, a duckbill corner, and then you've got to get yourself here. A perfect run. Turn number 11, the dive corner, really is a dive. You don't want to go wide onto that blue painted asphalt. It's so slippery out there before you come down into Yoncao. Turn number 12. From here on, it pretty much is flat out all the way through turn number 13. A huge elevation change. You can't actually see turn 14 until you're right on it. You'll be flat out in some cars, other cars just feathering the throttle just a tiny bit. The track then just dives downhill. This is one of the fastest pit entries in the world, and then you'll come past the start finish line. It's one of the shortest racetracks in the world and one of the shortest that we have on iRacing, but it's still a very difficult track with so many different corners for the drivers to negotiate. This has been the GlacierTV track guide for Interlagos.